So, welcome, guys. What's going on in the Idaho court case lately? Well, in Harsh is suspect also all hell. This Wednesday, Brian has a new hearing, I guess, to set up the trial date and go over motions. But until then, I mean, there's tons of stuff to talk about in the Idaho court case, but not very much until the actual hearing. And we remember Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, who were gone too soon but not forgotten. Everything's just is so twisted and complex in this case. It's not even funny. I was able to get a hold of where Ethan is buried at, and anybody that lives in or around Mount Vernon, Washington, if you want to go pay your final respects to him, I will show you where he's buried at. Hawthorne Memorial Park, Mount Vernon, Washington. If I lived closer there, because I currently live in Kansas, I would go pay my final respects to him. And then, of course, we have Maddie and Kaylee who were cremated, and their ashes are at the Gonzalez's house. I don't know if they take turns with Maddie's ashes with her father, Ben, his her stepmother, and her mother, and her stepfather. But these are four young kids who was taken out of this world way too soon. Way too soon. Me being a father myself, I do not wish what happened to Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan on anybody. We don't know what's going through the mind of the parents. Well, we know what's going through the mind of Christy. She wants Brian basically dead and off the planet because she thinks that he did it. And Steve knows something that he's not telling anybody because of the what he made the statement that there's a whole other level of data being collected, which is going to open up a whole new investigators. So he knows something was going on. And then like Christy and Steve said, you have the prosecution who's not telling them anything, which is complete and utter horseshit. And then you have Xana's father, Jeff, and her sister Jasmine. They all want answers on what's going on. They all deserve answers on what's going on. It's just too bad the Latah County prosecutor, Bill Thompson's not giving them the answers that they want or need. They're just telling the family to just sit back, relax. We got this. I'm sorry if somebody tells me to sit back and relax. They got this. Yeah, I'm not gonna believe them. This whole case has been suspect from the start. You have the cops that was in the crime scene just basically not taking the proper protection, contamination of the crime scene. You had an ISP forensics sneezing in the crime scene. It was almost like it was a guided tour for them. And you have Dylan and Bethany, who I don't buy their statements in the PCA at all. At all. I mean, even Brian's own attorney, Ann Taylor, said that the PCA is full of holes, half truths, and inconsistencies. And she's still wondering why they came across her client. I'm sorry, I tend to agree with Ann Taylor. Exactly how and why did they come across her client? Is he just their willing patsy? Nobody knows. Nobody knows in this case exactly what's going on. Then you had the bombshell announcement that Chief Fry is retiring to run for sheriff. Yes, you heard it here, guys. Chief Fry is running for sheriff. If he gets elected, Brian's not going to have a fair trial. No, not at all. Brian will go to death row if Chief Fry gets elected as sheriff. And that's the whole weird part about it. Why didn't he wait till his 30 years to retire? He put 29 years in on the force, 8 years in as police chief. Why did he retire at 29 years? In the middle of this fucked up case, he retires so he can run for sheriff. That don't make no sense to me right here. It really don't make no sense at all. I smell something suspicious. But in Idaho, you have two forms of the death penalty. You have the lethal injection, and then if they don't have the chemicals for the lethal injection, you have the default, which is the firing squad. I'm sorry, I cannot see Brian standing up there tied to a pole and being shot to death. Then you have Christy saying, "Oh yeah, well, I'll forgive Brian once he's off this planet." I, I'm not trying to knock Christy and Steve because I know that they had lost their child, but why are they the only two speaking out? You don't hear from Ben Mogan or Corey Hatrock. You don't hear from Maddie's mom. You don't hear from Xana's dad or sister. You don't hear from Ethan's mom and dad. And why, oh, why would they decide to send their two remaining kids back to the University of Idaho? It just thinks Idaho. His ideal jury pool is farmers with over 1,000 acres who don't have time to watch TV or get on electronics. I'm sorry. Farmers are going to want to see the physical house. They're going to want to be able to touch it, hear the creaks in the house, hear the echoes, be able to go around the back of the house and see in the windows to see exactly who saw what the night of the murders. They're not going to want to take a 3D rendering tour of the house. They're going to want to see the actual house because farmers, who work with their hands all day, like to physically touch stuff, like to visually see stuff. And then you have Scott Green, who already has plans to build a low income housing or affordable housing on the site of 1122 King Road. To me, that's basically spitting in the face of the victims' families. And he wants to have this built when school's not in session. And he wants to get the architect students involved in it. You all know this is going to be another off campus sorority house, for the students. What is really going on in Moscow, Idaho? Really? You've got Scott Green, who's spitting in the face of the victims' families by building either a duplex, and it's going to piss me off if this mother foe, I don't want to cuss, builds another 3-story house in the same spot. And then you got Hunter and Maisie Chapin, who stay like literally across the street or near Banfield from where the house was. And they were wanting the house gone because Hunter made the comment, uh, just looking at that house and knowing that my brother died in that house of horrors, it would make me have great pleasure knowing that the eyesore of his demise is gone. Now, I've heard rumors that the Chapins didn't like Xana at all. They thought she was too wild for their son. Now, let me know down in the comments if that's a correct statement or a wrong statement, because that's just what I heard. But then you have Kaylee and Maddie, who were best friends starting at 6th grade. And just like it said in Kaylee's obituary, which I have her, Maddie's, and Xana's. And when Maddie came into their life, they were no longer a family of 5 siblings. They were a family of 6 siblings. Then you have this. Sorry about that, guys. StreamYard froze up for a minute. I don't know what the hell's going on with it today. Where were we? Maddie and Kaylee met in the sixth grade, and in Kaylee's obituary, which I have Kaylee, Maddie, and Xana's obituary, I couldn't find Ethan's, but in Kaylee's, it said that the siblings went from a family of five to a family of six, with Maddie being included in that. These students didn't deserve what happened to them. They really didn't. They don't deserve what's happening to them uh, when they were alive by the cops harassing them every night. And their families don't deserve what's happening to them now, especially with that crooked ass prosecutor, Bill Thompson. Don't get me started on Bill Thompson. No, I don't like the dude. He's sealing up all the everything in this case. And I've heard, a few people say, yeah, the only reason why he's doing it is to protect the integrity of the case. Well, if he wants to protect the integrity of the case, then they need to move that damn case out of Moscow, Idaho, out of Latah County. And his Brian's attorney, Ann Taylor, had to file 12 different motions of discovery because they weren't wanting to give up the IGG. And then when they finally did, they told Ann Taylor she wasn't allowed to talk to any of Brian's family members or anybody that contributed to the IGG discovery. What the hell? Needs to talk to Brian's family to find out exactly what's going on, what makes Brian tick. But yeah, you have the prosecutor. Oh, she has to ask permission of the court before she talks to anybody on in Koberger's family. That's bullcrap. It really is. Bull crap. And then Bill Thompson decides to throw a hissy fit because she put in a change of venue motion, and he's fighting to deny it because he feels that I can get a viable jury pool here in Moscow. My ideal jury pool is nothing but farmers that have over 1,000 acres who don't watch TV, who don't know what's going on in this case. I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, but your plan may backfire. It really will. Because farmers, yeah, they're going to want to see the physical house, and the house is gone. Yeah, he may have corrupted his own case by saying the house can be torn down because, quote Bill Thompson, "Oh, the feeling in the house has changed. The atmosphere has changed in the house. I don't want a jury coming into the house because the feel and the atmosphere has changed in the house." Really, dude? Really? I figured I'd give it like a little short little update on what's going on in the case. Make sure you guys watch my live tonight. It's going to be a very good show. And we're going over is part two of what we did last Thursday. Is part two. We're going over the rest of the Steve G and Christy interview from the 1 year anniversary. I'm gonna have on panel AR Hayes and Post Woke World. This is my first time meeting her, so it's gonna be an honor for me to meet her. All right, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you at 7 p.m. tonight. And I'll give a shout out to all my mods out there. Love you guys. Peace.